Listen, you know what time it is. It's time for another episode of your favorite podcast entitled We Hate Your Internet. All right. Come on back in here, man. Gather around. This is We Hate Your Internet. It's funny every time, man. Y'all know it. You know what it is. It's a podcast designed to bring awareness on the problematic effects of the internet on our lives, as well as celebrate the beautiful simplicity of our humanity. I'm your host, Wilford Hamilton. Before we get started, I just want to thank everybody, all the new subscribers. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Come on in here, guys, and come grab some of this content. You know what I mean? We're on episode 73 today. Wow. Clap, clap, clap. You know what I mean? So you got 72 other episodes to go in and consume. You know what I mean? Go get caught up. Thank all, like I said, all those who have subscribed, those who have left comments, feedback. I've heard it. I received it. I really, really, really greatly appreciate it. Um, it gives me motivation to continue to pump this stuff out, right? You know what I mean? We were trying to put this production together, and we fought tooth and nail to make it happen and break. My man Steven on the other side of the lights and cameras. You know what I'm saying? We both over here sweat. Like I said, never forget. I said we just talked. We came up with a principle that we're gonna live by from now on. Never throw away old shoelace. One day, if you don't understand it, one day you will. Anyway, me being silly, but like I said, thank you all for those that have subscribed. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe now. You should see the little icon roll across the screen. Subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the notification bell, all that jazz, so that you can get the latest and greatest information from We Hate You Internet. Also, if you're listening on the audio side, Spotify, Apple Music, webcasts, and all the other stuff. I know we got people overseas. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, whatever native language that you speak, the native tongue of your land. Thanks to all those who have been listening, from from Russia, Germany. I see you guys coming in. You know what I mean? A lot of people from Russia. You know what I mean? Uh, Several other places. We greatly appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you guys coming in and checking this corner of the internet. So if you're listening and you haven't already, go ahead and hit the follow button, and just leave a quick review as well. Once again, like we always say, it always helps to for the recommendations of the algorithm to recommend to the next person. So each like, each follow, each subscribe, each comment, each review helps to spread the message on to the next human. So today we want to jump right into a topic. Last week we finished up our series on I hate the comment section, just kind of just shedding light on, you know, navigating that space, and the proper having the arm yourself with the proper perspective and mindset in order not to be radicalized and not to be deceived or led astray. You know, while you're reading the comments and with all this content that's floating around. So this week we want to kind of start a new vein. Actually, this was going to be part 5, but I decided, we'll go ahead and break it off. They had enough. We'll just go. This is a pretty big topic. We'll just break it off on its own. And that topic is seeking eternal happiness. We are talking about our obsession with wanting to be happy in society. You know, when you, like I said, when you go into comment sections or you just see people, you know, the content that's being pumped out, everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to do the thing that makes them happy. Everybody wants to find the thing that makes them happy. And you know, the idea of it is really cool, right? Like, I mean, it's really inspiring, and we encourage people to go seek what makes you happy. To find your joy, your inner peace. These terms that we use for people to find the thing that makes them happy. But what happens is, as a result of that, is that people uh, feel that they should always be happy. You know what I mean? Like that, and if you're not happy, then something's wrong. You know what I mean? And you know, when that thought process, you know, comes to be, it brings with it a lot of different issues. And so I've seen that time and time again, you know, in these digital streets, as we call it, and it brought to my mind like how unhealthy of a thought process that is. You know what I mean? One may not think it because, like I said, what's wrong with being happy? But you got to understand that the human experience is a full experience. All emotions that humans express are necessary emotions. It's like the movie Inside Out by Disney. You know what I mean? Like, they got anger and happiness and confusion and all this other stuff. Uh, but each of those emotions help shape us into the people that we are. You know what I mean? And I mean by people, I mean all of us, both individually and collectively, human beings. All of those are necessary components to our personality and to our the individual and how we express ourselves in the world. And so I feel like, man, I really want to address that because I think you know uh, no reason more important than this, honestly, is that if a person is always seeking to be happy, like I want to be happy all the time, what happens is actually that you rob yourself of many opportunities to be happy. And I want to kind of elaborate on that a little bit more. Um, you know, the Bible says that there's a time and there's a time for everything under the sun. You know what I mean? And basically, and he goes through the list of things: happy to be time, a time to smile, a time to be sad, a time to war, a time to have peace, blah blah blah, a time to plant, a time to reap. All There's a time for everything. Everything has its own time, and that's one of the things we talk about all the time on this platform about utilizing time and how important time is, and how much the concept of time has gotten away from us in our society. But that's another topic for another time. But you know, there are seasons of happiness, just like there are seasons. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Right? Everything goes through its cycles. There are cycles, and there are seasons for happiness in our lives. Um, eh, and the one thing that you should seek in your life above all else, even above being happy all the time, is balance. Balance is the thing that brings birth to peace. And peace is the one thing that every human being wants, right? And so instead of just wanting to be happy all the time, you should be wanting to have a balanced life. And so the key to having a balanced life is just like when you were a child. For those that are a little bit older, they used to go to the park and go outside and actually touch grass. You know what I mean? They had the thing on the playground called a seesaw, right? And the seesaw, you get one, two people on both sides, and they balance each other out. And y'all play this game. Y'all just continue to help. Y'all balance. One goes up, one goes down, and y'all balance each other. That's the game. You know what I mean? Very simple, very very fun though. And life is the same way. Like, in order for you to understand and appreciate happiness, what do you have to have? What is the counter of happiness? It's sadness, right? And this is just a small example, but I want you to understand. In order for you to have balance in your life, it can't all be good. You got to have some bad. You know what I mean? Like, laughter and joy is is balanced by pain and sorrow. You all right with that, buddy? It's all good, man. This show is all about humanity. I mean, hashtag stay human. That's what it's all. Man, man, giving his life for the production. But anyway, it's real production. It's real stuff going on. We're not gonna let that out either. But in order for you to laugh, in order for you to enjoy a good laugh, it means to cry. You know, and that's what balance is all about. And so, if you're always looking to be happy, you're gonna miss a lot of opportunities to be happy. You know what I mean? And because when you're constantly seeking happiness, watch me. When you're constantly seeking happiness, and those times in your life when you just can't find it, you know what I mean? Like instead of you being okay with that, you rob yourself of chances to to appreciate the happiness when you get it. That makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm gonna say it again. If you're constantly seeking happiness, what you're going to find is that most of the time that you're going to become disappointed. You're going to become jaded. You're going to become bitter, right? Because, like, man, I just want to be happy. But but in that bitterness, there will be opportunities for you to be happy. But because you're so busy being bitter, and you're consumed by your bitterness and your displeasure, that you miss those opportunities when happiness comes around. I'm gonna just let that marinate for a second. Because that's man, uh, that's a super important concept that you got to get. You know what I mean? Um, like I said, happiness is great. but you have to learn to appreciate all your other seasons as well. That so then when the season of happiness does come around, you can really, really appreciate it and you can take it for what it is. You know what I mean? And when it's time for that happiness to go, you may be sad for it to go, but you understand that it's what it is. It's a season. And that just as springtime leaves, if we just keep living, springtime will come back around again. You know what I mean? And that is the cycle of life. It is intended for you to go through that cycle. It's intended for you to go through happiness and then to go through some sadness and then go through some disappointment and then have some things that you're angry about. And, all these things are a part of the process of life and they are necessary parts of the process. Second thing I want to talk about, you know, uh, in this pursuit of happiness is that there are lessons in life that you can only learn through suffering. There are lessons that you learn in life only in the season of sadness. There are things that you learn in this life that you need, necessary lessons that you learn only in seasons of anger. You know what I mean? There are things that you learn about yourself when you go through these other emotions. And so the desire to always try to just be happy and just do the things that make you happy all the time, you're really robbing yourself of necessary development. You know what I mean? And I think that people, I think that that too is a very important point that people have to really get a hold, like really grasp and really take hold of. You know, why are we talking about these things? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, man, this is so important. Why we spend all this time talking about this? How much time we going? Do I have a timer? I don't even set my timer. That man say, I got you. Don't even worry about it. That's why it's good to have production partners. but but we spend this time we talking about this stuff, like, right? Because as always, our desire at We Hate Your Internet is for people to be able to live well on the earth. You know what I mean? To find peace and to have their best version of, to become the best version of themselves so they can have the best version of their lives. You know, uh, a lot of times it's the disillusions that are developed and are spread through our society that rob us of those opportunities. You know what I'm saying? If a person feels and the expectation in their mind is 100% happiness, then like I said, you find yourself in a lot of spots where you're sad for no reason. You know what I mean? Like you become angry and bitter for no reason. I can't tell you how many people I know like that. And I mean, I'm sure that you can count, you probably can't count, if you took off your socks and shoes, you wouldn't be able to count the number of people that you know that are just unhappy in their lives. And in a time when there is so much, like there is so much, um and I can speak like for as far from an American perspective, but I think from anywhere on the globe, there is so much to be enjoyed. There's so much to find pleasure in. Like there's so many things to be grateful for. I mean, like with the innovation, we talk about innovation all the time on the show, but like we live in a time it's unprecedented in the amount of convenience that we have in our time, and it doesn't have to be necessarily a bad thing. There is good in that, that you can purchase things from the other side of the world and get it in like a week. You know what I mean? Like, you know how long that used to take for something to be sailed, for you to get something from Spain to the Americas? Like, you're talking months. You know what I mean? But like now, like, you know what I mean? You know, 8 to 10 days, man, you got that thing in your lap. You probably already ate it already. You know what I mean? Like, and how, like, our ability to connect with other people, FaceTime, like phone calls. I mean, like, we have so much to be grateful for. You know what I mean? We are so wealthy. You know what I mean? Like the average person they live a comfortable, deep, like a good life. You know what I mean? And so every building you go into in America got AC pretty much. Like, I mean, like I said, there's so much to be grateful for in our lives. But we waste our lives and we waste our good days, complaining, being unhappy, like, and it's because we live with unrealistic expectations. I mean, that is the problem. That is the issue. We don't know how to appreciate the lives that we have. And it's because a lot of us don't, and it's because of the way we've been conditioned that we can't find the joy in those things. You know what I mean? And that's what we really want to help with on the show. That's what this episode specifically is really all about. It's like nothing wrong with being, and we're gonna kind of wrap this thing up. I didn't set my timer, so I don't know. Well, I'm running out of stuff to say. Steven's like, man, keep it going. He's like, well, but I'm running out of stuff to say. I ain't gonna just ramble. I think this episode is really straightforward. I never want to just put like the production. I never have the desire to just be running my mouth for no reason. If I take 30 minutes because that's 30 minutes it takes to get it done. If I take 35 minutes, well, then it was something that needs to be said. But if it takes 20, then hey, man, it is what it is. 20 minutes and it's yours. But the objective is always the same. Like I said, it's to help. It's to enlighten. It is to bring awareness. Hopefully, and the end objective always is to take the innovation and all the benefits of our world, while also minimizing the negative effects. So that is what we do. That is our aim always on We Hate Your Internet, and we hope that we've been able to do that on this very short episode. Like I said, I think that was the point. I mean, as I searched my mind, I think I covered everything that I really wanted to talk about. I just, and the episode is yours. I just want to encourage you, man. Like, take the time to appreciate each season. Everyone is not always fun, right? Like, every emotion is not always great. It's not something that, you enjoy. But always understand that there are things, if you just think back on your life, you have some age on you, just think back, even some of your most difficult times, you've learned some very valuable lessons that you were able to take forward with you. And that's by design. That's the way that life is designed. And so, happiness should not always be the aim. You should not expect, and I'll say that as we recap, you should not always expect to be happy 24/7. It's a mistake to do so. Instead, your thought process should be to learn to appreciate happiness when it comes. That should be the key. Is that when I find things in my life that I can be happy about, I really take the time to appreciate and to enjoy them. That should be your aim. And then when that moment passes, you make sure you really enjoyed it. You suck the life out of it. When nothing left when it was gone, and just know that it'll come back around. You know what I mean? I have a saying in my family, and I'm gonna leave you with this. We say, enjoy your good days and endure your bad ones. You've probably heard me say this on the platform before, and I'm sure I'll say it again. But that's one of the things that I live by. When people ask me why am I so happy, why am I such good spirits all the time? But that's the reason why. It's because I enjoy my good days, man. I look for things in my life that I could be grateful for, and I really appreciate them. And they make me happy. You know what I mean? And then I no doubt I have bad days like anybody else. But I just know that if I just endure these bad days, don't do nothing to make it worse and make bad decisions that's gonna make the situation worse or prolong the situation. Just go through the situation, and continue to stay focused. Like eventually, my good days are coming back around, and it's just a matter of being patient. That's it, and not, like I said, not exacerbating the situation, making it worse by making bad decisions. You know, and it served me well so far, man. You know what I mean? Like, cats still look pretty young. You know what I mean? I drink plenty of water and everything too, but pretty lighthearted, man. And I really am. I really am happy, in my life, and I want the same thing for everybody else. And so, that's the episode. With the extra 7 minutes or so that we saved today, feel free to go outside, just get some fresh air, something. I don't know. I gave you seven minutes of your life back. You're welcome. Once again, we're gonna ask that you, as we close, make sure you hit subscribe if you didn't already. Like, I done said that for 73 times already. If you haven't done it by now, then doggone it, man. What's the problem? I think I may be taking it personal. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, that thing, so that when I upload the next episode or the next bit of information, you'll be there to receive it, one of the first to receive it. If you're on the audio side, once again, same thing, man. Make sure you hit the follow button. Apple on Apple or on Spotify, either one. Make sure you follow the show, and please just leave a quick review. You can be like, I like it, and I'll be like, appreciate that, and that'll be enough. Also, Facebook group, #StayHuman. We're really trying to cultivate that community as well. It's going to be a space that we want to utilize to share more information, extend the conversations, as well as I want to start trying to put some activism components to it as well. Just different things and tools for people to be able to utilize to better navigate this digital world that we're increasingly delving into headlong. And so that's all I got, man. I'm gonna leave it like I always do. Ask that you stay safe, stay blessed, and please stay